royal family has gone down the drain as far as I'm concerned, because the whole family were heckled during, one of their recent group appearances. Kate Middleton isn't even popular as it is anymore. Prince William thinks that he's going to be, a fresh, brand new king, but he clearly is being dragged with the Epstein files and the Earthshot co-founder also being in them as well, and now being revealed that he was phoning Prince Andrew and giving him condolences. Camilla wants to try and thrive from all of this, but the issue is that nobody cares about Camilla, so she's barely been seen in the papers, press. She can't strive from other people's downfall because she's not popular herself. Fergie was never popular to begin with, and all of this is basically, irreparable harm she can never return. Andrew has been completely banished, but in doing so, he is dragging the royal family entirely down with him. Queen Elizabeth has not been here right now. Popularity polls, are at all-time low when it comes to the family. Like, it's all just a shit show. It's as worst as it can be right now, present day 2026. It was a car crash from when Elizabeth died, and it's gotten far low. And the cancer stories, again, I think they were for sympathy, and it just simply did not do enough.
Welcome to the channel, and thank you so much for joining us today. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue having these honest, open, and thought-provoking conversations together. And to all our returning viewers, your continued support truly means everything. It allows us to go beyond surface-level headlines and really explore the deeper layers of stories that people all over the world are talking about. Now, today's conversation is one that has been building quietly but steadily over time. It is one of those discussions that refuses to go away, because every time people think it has settled, something happens that brings it right back into focus. And this time, the spotlight is once again on how public perception is shaped, who controls that perception, and whether the narrative we keep hearing actually reflects what people are seeing. At the center of this renewed discussion is commentary from Murad Merali, who has spoken out in a way that is direct, bold, and very difficult to ignore. What makes his voice stand out is not just what he is saying, but the fact that he is willing to say it so clearly in an environment where many others choose to stay within safer boundaries. And that is what has caught people's attention. Because when someone speaks in a way that challenges the dominant narrative, it creates a moment. It creates a pause. It forces people to stop and ask themselves whether what they have been hearing for years is actually the full picture, or just one version of it that has been repeated often enough to feel like truth. For a long time, there has been a consistent message coming from certain media spaces. A message that suggests that the so-called working royals remain widely popular, stable in their public image, and firmly supported by the public. This message has been repeated across headlines, discussions, and commentary to the point where it has become almost automatic. People hear it so often that it begins to feel unquestionable. But repetition is not the same as reality. And that is the point that is now being challenged more openly. Because when you step outside of headlines and start looking at what people are actually reacting to in real time, a different picture begins to emerge. It is not always neat. It is not always consistent. But it is real in the sense that it reflects genuine audience engagement rather than curated messaging. And this is where the conversation naturally turns toward Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Because regardless of opinion, regardless of debate, regardless of the many narratives that have surrounded them over the years, there is one thing that continues to stand out. They generate attention. Not occasional attention, not limited attention, but sustained, global attention that crosses boundaries and continues to grow. Whenever they appear, people notice. Whenever they speak, people listen. Whenever they are involved in something, people talk about it. And that level of engagement cannot be ignored, because in today's world, attention is one of the clearest indicators of relevance. Now, it is important to be honest about what that attention means. It does not automatically translate to universal approval. It does not mean that everyone agrees or supports them, but it does mean that they are at the center of the conversation. It means they matter in the current landscape. And in a world where visibility often defines influence, that matters a great deal. Murad Merali's perspective taps directly into this reality. He is not just offering an opinion in isolation. He is responding to what he believes is a visible disconnect between what people are being told and what they are observing for themselves. And that disconnect is where the conversation becomes powerful. Because once people begin to notice a gap between narrative and reality, they start asking questions. They start paying closer attention. They start looking at things differently. And once that shift happens, it is very difficult to reverse. Now, let's talk about how this shift has been made possible, because it did not happen overnight. It is the result of a fundamental change in how information is consumed. In the past, most people relied heavily on traditional media to understand public figures. What was reported became the primary source of truth. There was limited opportunity to verify or challenge those reports in real time. But today, everything is different. People can watch events as they happen. They can see reactions directly. They can listen to full statements instead of edited clips. They can compare different perspectives instantly. And most importantly, they can form their own opinions based on what they see rather than what they are told. This shift has reduced the distance between event and perception. And when that distance is reduced, narratives become easier to question. Murad Merali's commentary exists within this new environment. It resonates because it aligns with the experience of viewers who feel that they are seeing something that does not always match the way it is being described. He is giving voice to a growing sense of skepticism. Not blind skepticism, but thoughtful skepticism. The kind that asks, does this actually match what I'm seeing? Now, let's explore the idea of popularity in more detail, because it is often treated as something simple when it is anything but. Popularity is not a fixed number. It is not a single measurement. It is a combination of visibility, engagement, cultural relevance, and emotional connection. It is about how people respond, not just what they are told to think. And when we look at these factors, it becomes clear that Harry and Meghan occupy a unique space. Their story has evolved in a way that breaks away from traditional expectations. They are no longer defined solely by institutional roles. Instead, they have created their own path, one that allows them to engage with audiences in a more direct and personal way. This independence has changed how people connect with them. It has made their story feel more accessible, more relatable, and in some cases more compelling. Now, this does not mean that their journey has been without controversy. Far from it. Their story has been one of the most debated, analyzed, and discussed in recent years. But that level of discussion is, in itself, a sign of relevance. People do not debate what they are not interested in, and that is something worth remembering. As we continue to look at this conversation, another important factor comes into play: emotional connection. In today's media landscape, emotional connection is incredibly powerful. People are drawn to stories that feel real, that feel personal, that feel human. And when individuals share their experiences in a way that resonates emotionally, it creates a bond with the audience. This is something that has played a significant role in how Harry and Meghan are perceived. Their story is not just about roles or titles, it is about experiences, challenges, decisions, and change. And those elements make it relatable in a way that goes beyond traditional expectations. Now, let's bring this back to Murad Merali's perspective. What he is essentially doing is highlighting a shift that many people are beginning to recognize. He is pointing out that the narrative is not as one-dimensional as it has often been presented. He is encouraging people to look beyond repetition and examine what is actually happening. And that is where his commentary becomes impactful. Because it is not just about agreeing or disagreeing with him. It is about engaging with the question he is raising. Are we seeing the full picture? Or are we seeing a version of it that has been shaped by repetition? As we move toward the final part of this discussion, it is important to reflect on what all of this means moving forward. It means that the conversation is not going away. It means that narratives will continue to be questioned. It means that audiences will continue to play a more active role in shaping perception. And it means that voices like Murad Merali's will continue to find an audience, because they reflect a growing desire for more open and honest discussion. At the end of the day, what we are witnessing is a shift in power. A shift from a single narrative to multiple perspectives. A shift from passive consumption to active engagement. And a shift toward a more complex, more nuanced understanding of public figures. And that is what makes this moment so important. So once again, thank you for watching and for being part of this conversation. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thoughtful discussions. And as always, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the way public perception is evolving? Do you feel that what you see matches what you are told, or do you think there is a gap between the two? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care, stay informed, and we will see you in the next video.